So you're gonna take a look at Picross S4 and puzzle number 131. Starting to really get into the more difficult end of these puzzles. We're definitely going to be using a lot more kind of contradiction pieces and stuff here than just working out with simple by the numbers that are given. But we'll fill in what's available first anyway to see. Oh. You just see here, like for at the end, where you have the 4 could exist at, well, the 4 has to exist at this side, but this could be the 1 and the 4. But you can find out that, like, if you were to throw down the 8 at this side as a guess and see how it plays out, you'll end up with a 1 here and a 1 there, which yeah, it's too many. The 1 could exist there, that could be fine, but it can't be both of these, which means that the 8 definitely can't stretch all the way out this far. It can stretch as far as here and there, but not here. This would be the last place where it could possibly be, just because that would put an extra block at the opposite side. So come across, and this is the 4. And now using that information, be able to draw this back the other direction. And we found the 1 as alternate. And can fill in even more the 8 now back the other way. Yeah. It's very important to try to make sure you fill in the X's as well in these, just as much as filling in any of the actual black squares where you can confirm. It's just you need to give yourself every advantage kind of going through in these harder puzzles. Yeah, still can't actually place that piece here. Can't know for sure that it doesn't extend the opposite direction. So we go with the same kind of thing up here. So if the 8 was to start up there, how would that start to grow out? So you can see the 4 here, 4 there, gap. And no, because yeah, that's gonna end up with a single piece on its own. So it definitely can't be it can't be here. No, it can actually be there. I'm just trying to draw it out of my head. The fact that this guy has to have a piece on either side of him. But say if it's here, then the 8 can't exist there. But it can be here. But the 8 can't exist the whole way along here. So from there on, that 8 definitely can't be up top. Anyway, work it out the other side. Oh, 1 second. 1 gap, 1 2 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 gap, 1 2. You can fill in this a whole line now. Gray off these guys. Ah, okay, and I can gray off some more of these guys up here now at the top. Since I know that, like, I don't know which side that's at just yet. But yeah, the other two is after appearing over here. Yeah, I can finish up this 8 across. And I can bring these X's down because that's either 1 at either side, top or bottom of this. But it can't be both. Let's see here now. So if the 1 is up here, 1 2 gap, 1 2. Okay, so at least that one's filled in, and then coming up the other way is 1 2 gap, 1 2. Nice tricky little puzzle. Just trying to spot there must be something I'm kind of missing a small bit here. Gap, 1 2 3. No, it still doesn't stretch over far enough. Maybe on this row actually, because it should be the 1 2 gap, 1 2. Okay, 1 2. Still not quite enough information to be able to make a call. Oh, well, I should be able to figure something here. Say the 1 is somewhere inside here, but that's all that can fit in. The 1 2 gap, 1 2 3. Give us a spawn drop here anyway. And I'll probably be able to extend this out one more to the left hand side actually, because the 1 2 3 gap, 1 2 3 4 5, and then back the other way. I should actually be able to light up 1. So if that was there, the 5 ends, there's a gap, 1 2 3, and that's part of the 2 here then. Just because this 3 couldn't extend down to that, or it'll become the F4. So if there was a gap here. Yeah, this would start 1 2 3. Still quite a really nicely crafted puzzle though, to give away very little, even with quite a lot of it now uncovered. I'm just wondering if there's something I'm missing. Well, Okay, I can see again here, say, if the 4 was to start down here, let's see if we can cut out 1 or 2 pieces anyway. But if the 4 started down here, then the next ones would have to go here, here, but not here. Which means that the 4 can start at the very end. But even here, again, it can't be in that one. Can it be there? It could potentially be. Doesn't mean that it is, but at least it can exist there. And yeah, you can't rule out that the other direction done either. I just want to see if I can push, at least get a few more X's down here. I should be able to push the entire puzzle across. Okay. So the 4 can't start down here. But can I start here? Yup. 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 Yeah, so it can't start there. So I can't put an X there just yet. But at least it lets me move things up a small little bit here at the end. See, I can see the fact that that's definitely part of it, one of the 2 gaps that's in the middle here. But I can't use that to extrapolate extra information. I might be able to figure out some of these parts here to the side actually. Because there's 5 singles here, so it should be like 1. There can be 2 down there. Yeah, but all of these ones can actually be filled in. Ah, that's definitely gonna help out some bit. Just a tad in terms of fill out half the grade. Let it move out a fair bit, but let's see if I can lock down the next safe move. Oh, 1 second. 1 gap, 1 gap. Ah. This is one of the things of playing this. I'm quite tired. So it's kind of easier to miss out on fairly obvious clues like that one was standing out. Always recommend, if you're having trouble with a puzzle, particularly in Picross, just like, yeah, if you're feeling a bit tired, just suspend the game, go get some rest, come back to it. You'll find that like puzzles get 1,000 times easier when you have a fresh eyes on them. I can put that over that, because if this is part of the 1 or the 2, so if it's the 1, then it'll be a gap above it, and if it's part of the 2, that means the 1 is there, and that's a gap here. If you do ever get stuck with a puzzle and you kind of stumble onto one of my videos and see like something being worked out that looks yeah, like if here's a question of how was a certain part worked out, just shoot a question in the comments below, and I'll see if I can explain the methodology to exactly what was going on in my head, because I'm not counting out or yeah, really going through each individual block, especially on some of these harder ones where it's quite a lot of it gets locked down. So I'm working again. The 1, 2 gap 1 here. No, or you can get that over here as well, actually. Yeah, I can try and work out one extra X in this at least. So, say like if the 3 was here, and the gap, and then the 1 at this side. But it could also be a case of where that's the 3, and there's a gap here, and that's the 1. But say like, if this is a 3 gap 1, then this piece is an X, because there's nothing else here. And if this is the 3 gap 1, then this piece is an X anyway. Both ways, that piece has to be an X. Now, you can see that the 4s don't extend all the way down here. So this is actually the 3 and the gap over there. There's quite a lot more filling in now, so it's like, it can be a case of sometimes where I'm being exceptionally over careful, just to make sure that I've got like absolute confirmation from the both directions. But I always find it easier to just make 100% certain before making a move, rather than to take even the slightest bit of risk where there could be any possibility that something might exist from a different side. It just isn't quite worth it to take even an educated guess. It has to be absolutely perfect or not at all. And that's a question mark. Or a black kite. Say what? I'm guessing that's a type of word. And a 20-minute video. Whoops. Good luck.